What's going on YouTube? Is Donnie B all day. All right, so here's something. I did some other recording. I was doing my samurai sword, and I actually did another video that'll be getting posted up for something else I did. And I was recording 3 different things all today, including this. So I didn't notice, but yeah, I am wearing a Dunkin' Donuts hat. Never worked there, but I love Dunkin' Donuts. And here's the thing. I don't drink coffee. And I don't eat donuts. So imagine that. They have good hot chocolate. Dunkin' Donuts has really good hot chocolate. So I love it so much. How about the hat? This is what I am doing. I am taking a cheap, and I mean, this is one of those $4.99, cheap machetes that I bought for a costume. And I was like, oh, man, it didn't come with an edge. So I put on my own edge. It was just all kinds of jacked up, and you could see right here that wasn't me damaging it. That's how it came. It literally came that jacked up. It is completely bent and leaning over. So what I want to do is turn it into a little bushcraft knife. The handle is great. I mean, it's not great, but it's plastic. It's cheap plastic, but it's screwed on there and it's comfortable. It's comfortable. So I was drawing what I wanted to do with it, and I was thinking I was originally going to go with like a little spear point, maybe a clip point, I don't know, and then I was thinking maybe like a little drop point, and I was going to come almost like the JG5. I was going to come out and then come down a little bit, almost parang-ish, but I'm going to leave this right here and maybe even give it a wedge grind, so grind it on just one side, and that way I can use it as a saw. Maybe, who knows, maybe I'll grind it on both sides. But it's ultra thin because it's a machete. So I don't want to go too long because I'm going to keep this. That's going to be part of it forever. I was thinking about even going shorter, but honestly, with me, I don't really have a use for little tiny knives. So if I heat it up a little bit afterwards, it might stiffen. Who knows? And if not, it's still going to be a nice, thin, bushcrafty skinning type thing. So that's what I'm going to do. This should be a really short project. I'm just literally going to cut this, then I'm going to sand it or grind it. And once that's ground, I'll put an edge on it. That's pretty much it. Unless I decide to give it a little heat treat, I'll do an edge heat treat if anything. But that's all I'm doing to this. And it should come out a pretty cool little blade. So let's take this $4.99 machete and try to turn it into a $9.99 bushcrafted knife. All right, so this is where I'm at. It's pretty much done. I'm not doing anything to the skin. I'm not going to recolor it. I just gave it some swirl marks, a little something different. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I actually really worked the edge. I gave it a much bigger edge, nice and deep. I went on both sides of the saw not to shave sharp, obviously sharpness, but bring it just a little bit in to make it easier to cut wood if I really needed to use it. So I'm assuming like notching and things like that. And I'll tell you what, that's working. That's working right there. Let's see. I didn't find the edge yet, so I still have to bring that to the stone. But it's sharp. You know what I mean? I just have to make it fine, make it fine, make it fine. Let's see if I can't brush with this thing here. Ooh, they're all falling off. Ooh wee. All right. So it's working pretty good. It's working pretty good. Not bad. This thing, you'd be able to fillet a fish with this. It's so thin. You know what I mean? And I took out that giant curve that was in there. So it is much better. But guys, you have some old, cheap, nasty looking machete hanging around. All I did is take a cut off tool and I cut off here and I cut off there Then I went to the belt sander and I went like this until this became nice and even, right? And then I sanded all the edges. Then I grinded myself a new edge, and this thing has become my greatest tool. This sanding disc right here, I wish I had that in the beginning when I was making knives, because it takes so much material so much faster. And then I have one of these, cheap, crappy, nothing, and when you use it, you want to keep as still and straight as possible, right? You don't want it wobbling all around. So what I do is I put it in a vise, and then I pull. I'll do 10 on the steel, and I'll flip it over, and I'll do 10 on the ceramic, and it gives me a pretty nice workable edge. And now what I'll do is I'll go upstairs and I'll get on my Smith stone, and I'll just give myself a really nice honed in edge. And right there, I've got myself a lightweight bushcraft knife. Yeah, $4.99 machete. That's it. You can see made in China right there. I'll have to take that off eventually because it's not made in China now. So look at that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's a nice little knife. And the good thing is I left myself enough material to where I could cut it off here and put on a nice 4-inch handle and make a really cool, you know, chopper. So I got enough to do that. And this thing is so light. It's like not even, you don't even know you have it. It's so light. But I'll tell you what, it worked. It worked. I'm pretty satisfied. I'm just gonna go hone the edge. That's done. That's it. So I don't know, pretty short video, but pretty easy work. Anybody can do this. Anybody can cut a machete. They're so easy to cut. Even if you have a hacksaw with hand, you do that, and then a stone, and you just keep working it on the stone, you'll get that down. You don't really need any power tools at all to make a little bushcraft knife out of a machete. And this one right here, I haven't measured it. Let's see what we're looking at. I just build it, I don't measure it. So it's a just over 6.5-inch blade. I want to say it is 5/8, 6 5/8 on the blade, and it is 11 1/4 overall. So it's right there, a good size for this kind of knife. And what I want to do is, you know, I'll take it outside and see if I can't do some batoning with it. Hold on a second. Let's do some light batoning right here real quick. Let's do something light. I got to readjust you. Hold on a second. All right, so we got this guy right here. We got that guy right there. Knock you guys down. Oh, look at that. All right, well, it splits wood. It splits wood, and then it knocks you guys on your... All right, so here we are, bringing my little custom machete knife to the stump. What I want to do is some downward throws. We'll see if the tip is going to bend, if the handle is going to loosen. It's really light, so it's definitely not a thrower, but, well, the edge isn't damaged any. I wonder if I could cut through rope with this thing. I don't know, boys and girls. Let's see how sharp I made it. Oh, I made it pretty sharp. Oh yeah, I did do a little bit of work on that edge, so it should be all right. That right there is not too bad right there. I do like that. So I don't have a whole lot of stuff left over here. I used it all with all my reviews over time. Let's see, plastic sports cone. Let's see if I can cut through this. Holy mackerel. All right, I did a pretty decent job on that edge. I did a pretty decent job. It's not shave sharp. It's not razor sharp, but it is cut through nylon rope sharp. It's cut through sports cone sharp. And I have to say, for this little clip point that started out with a really warped piece of crappy steel, that was just unusable. It was unusable as a machete. So far, so good for my little camper, my little bushcraft knife. So let's go over to the tree and see what we can't shave down. All right. Okie dokie. So here we are at the tree. Let's see what I have. Maybe we could work on some chopping action over here. Now, it is a small light blade, so I'm not overconfident. But what I am overconfident is right here. This right here is Combat Iron apparel. It's made for vets, by vets type thing. Even if you're not a vet, but you support veterans, buy one of these. They have a great website. It's Combat Iron apparel. It's awesome. And obviously, being tatted and being a veteran, this one kind of made sense for me. So they don't pay me. I don't get any freebies from them. I give them a shout out because, well, I like their shirts. They're really, really good material. Nice and soft. All right, so let's see here. Let's see here. So being light, you really have to put in kind of a swing to it. But I'll tell you what, it's chopping pretty well for its weight. Pretty well indeed. That is not so bad. That is not so bad. Shave some of this skin off. That's easy. That's what I made this knife for, was bushcrafty stuff. So that is going to be pretty good. Now I want to do some pushes and hold it all in there. And let's see. I'm going to end up knocking them all off. I know it. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. My hand's getting all sticky. But you can see it's doing what I needed to do, what I designed it to do. Let's see here. Let's see here. There's a bad mamba jamba. So I made another one, and I did it out of the other end of the machete. And I have to say, it came out freaking awesome. So I'm in the process of doing a video of that. I'll probably do some of that. I'll probably do some of the skills like this today. As a matter of fact, right when I'm done with this one, I think I'm going to do that. And I think it's going to be more of a chopper because it has the full belly of the front of the machete. This one is going to be lighter and more suited for things like feather sticking and shaving down stuff. But look at this. Look at this. Making short work, getting it to the point where I can start carving a tip to make pit spikes and arrows and darts and all kinds of crap. So that way when I need to kill an animal, put that in the ground, or if I need to make a tent spike, I just make myself a nice little notch and then tie it into the ground, you know, make that spiked end go right to the ground. Man, this is frozen, but it's pretty well made for that kind of stuff. And I even have my little saw back on there so I can further improve my notching capabilities. And let's see how well that does. Holy Moses! All right, so actually that worked out pretty well. So now what I would do is just cut into that little notch that I just made and make it obviously bigger. And it works out pretty freaking simple. So I'll tell you what, not bad. This took almost no time to make. The other one, you know, if I didn't have to make a handle for it and glue it on there and do the pins, that would have probably been even faster, because this one took a lot more grinding. I had to create this angle right here because remember, this used to be flat all the way to another point. So I had to make this flawlessly turn up and then take the edge that was already there and turn it up, which means I had to grind it down first and then re-put on an edge. So it took a little bit of work to make this guy right here. The other one, the blade was easier to create. the handle took time. This one already had a handle, so the handle didn't take any time. So it's, you know what I mean, it's 1 in 1 really. But I gotta say, this came out pretty cool. It works and I like it. So I don't know, I got a couple other knives to bring you and some stuff to do, and then I'll bring you the other one. But so far so good. This little bushcrafty, and I came up with a name for it, and I talked to somebody so I can get it to where nobody else can use it. And I'm gonna do a whole series of these. And what I just ordered a lot of 10 high carbon, not these cheap ones, high carbon machetes that are heat treated and tempered. And each machete is going to be turned into 2 knives. I'm going to do a sax style and then a chopper. And I'm probably going to end up making them for sales, and that's it. I'm going to make them, and they're going to be just two styles, and I'm going to try to make them all the exact same, so it's easier, but they're all going to be a little bit different, obviously, because they're custom and handmade. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to start selling them, because people have been asking me about making knives to sell, and I think that this is good, and I'm going to be calling them, they're going to be dbad customs, and they're going to be minchetes. So it's going to be mini machete, and that's going to be my deal. So stay tuned for that, guys, because I'm going to start bringing you stuff where if you want a nice, cheap, lightweight camp knife, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be selling them, even though they're customs and they're handmade and it is now, who gives a crap, they're still going to be under 30 bucks. And I don't mean $29.99, because that's not fair to say under 30 bucks. I hate when people do that. So I'm going to weigh out how much it costs me to make everything, and then figure it out. And I'm not in it for the profit game. I just want to get some knives out there that you might not have, or something that's just a little bit different, a little bit cool. So stay with me. We're going to get some work done. We're going to have some fun. I'm Don to be all day. Woo! Until next knife.